Welcome back to the Always Thinking Mindset channel, where we give you positive vibes and simple rules to achieve your goals. We share content to expand your mindset and overcome any obstacles that are in your way. In this channel, we focus on personal growth and achieving your full potential. And it all starts with mindset. Now, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like today's episode, smash that like button. All right, let's dig in. In this episode, we speak on 5 benefits of reading books. It's purely simple, but I love this one. This one is needed to remind us to stay focused and stay on course. I believe as an adult, we grow up, we have problems, we take on problems, and we forget our imagination. As of today, I'm still really reading books and learning from them. So this is a great episode, not only for the youth, but for adults in any situation. In today's society, we have come to rely on our phones, electronic means to access information. We need to step back and read books. Everybody forgets what that is. Now, I'm not knocking audiobooks or any electronic means or podcasts because then I wouldn't exist. The deal is you have to incorporate in order to learn in your everyday life. Now, just to show, I do read books. The current book I'm reading now is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Great book. It's helping me understand how your mind is a magnet and how you can tell it what to do and things will happen. It's as simple as that. But let's go ahead and get started on today's episode. With our first quote, we speak, "A room without books is like a body without a soul." Ooh, I like this one. A room without books is like a body without a soul. Mr. Marcus Cicero stated this. He was an ancient Roman philosopher, and I'm sure back then they read plenty of books. They had no TV. They had no internet. The point being is that books can open a door to imagination, to learning, and make life fun. It can also solve problems. Point being, when someone else goes through life or through a situation that you encounter, books come in handy. They show you the problem and how to overcome that obstacle. In this quote, he speaks on it's like a body without a soul, because books are so valuable. Yes, I do like to be a nerd sometimes, but at the same time, it could be applied to anything, whether a mechanic, engineer, law student, books are needed. Now, the first rule we speak on, the benefits of reading books, and we're speaking on personal books, is gaining knowledge and perspective. See, when you read a book, you're not just reading a book, you're learning something. You're digesting information in your mind and how to apply it. Now, like I said, I went through school and a lot of the books I read were for academic and only academic books. There were some times, especially in college, I would read or take a class like psychology or sociology, and the book would be very interesting. As I've grown older as an adult, I still like to learn, and I still love to learn. But I also have developed time in my personal life to read what I want now, not what everybody else tells me. When we read books, we have to gain perspective. It educates us of everyday life and how to overcome hurdles. From Winston Churchill to Franklin D. Roosevelt You name it, find a mentor. They will teach you the battles and struggles they had and how they overcame them and what were the lessons learned. When you grow, you have to develop a skill of growth. You have to digest information given to you by someone else. It's just like everything else. Your brain is a muscle. We have to keep it active. We have to keep it strong. My favorite saying is, knowledge is power. The more you know, say it with me, the more you grow. When gaining perspective on life, not only will it help you in personal, but also professional, because someone has come across this problem before. You think they haven't, but in the end, it's just a repeat. Gaining knowledge and reading books will help you understand everyday tasks or obstacles in your life. On the next rule, we speak on how reading books can give you a better thought process. Your brain is very powerful. You have to learn how to tap into it and release its energy. In order to do that, we must make it strong. It is not automatic. You have to force yourself to learn and grow. Because just like anything else, if you don't feed it, it will wither away. Now, when you read books, you do have a better thought process. You're able to digest information effectively, and neurons in your brain start to spit fire, or the axon, and all the scientific thought process begins to happen. Now, this is not a science show, but I will say if you Google or research, you will find how delicate and beautiful the brain is, and how people just seem to dismiss it or feed it stuff that destroys the mind. When we have a problem, we have to face the problem, and reading books gives the perspective and breakdown of the problem easier. The more reps you do, the easier this gets. That's why ancient philosophers or someone who understands and leads can go through something so easy because they've been there. They've seen it before. Reading books not only is fun, but it provides a bigger vocabulary. Now, when I was reading books, yes, I will come across people and have these nice conversations, and I will find myself using words that sound right. I don't know if this happened to everybody else, but it happens to me. Sometimes I'm in flow and have a fancy word and realize that fancy word came from somewhere, right? Reading books will slowly get in your subconscious mind of what a word is. I don't know about you guys, but if I find a word that I don't understand, I definitely either Google it or research it to understand it for next time, right? Reading books is the same. You will be exposed to new words you never knew were possible and start using them. This happens with recognition of the mind. We start to have building blocks. Suddenly, you're speaking like Niles and Fraser. This was a sitcom back in the 90s where two brothers will speak to each other in a high performance, high vocabulary fashion. It was comical. The point being, when reading books, this will help you be exposed to bigger, better words, not to showboat, but to actually incorporate something and be well articulated. The next rule is problem solving. With reading books, you're able to spot the issue, attack the problem, and in the end, find solutions. When we read books, we either nonfiction or fiction, We open our mind and we start our imagination. We put ourselves in that situation, but we're able to see the issue, attack it, and how was it fixed. Now, with that being said, that is a pattern, right? All problem solving is just patterns recognized. You have to step back and evaluate what you just read, let it digest, and be prepared for next time you see it again. Reading books has this effect on issue spotting. The final rule we speak on is expanding your imagination. In today's age, I don't feel we have enough imagination. I always say boredom is underrated, right? Because when boredom happens, we're quick to bust out our phone, look online, maybe go on YouTube, see a movie, listen to music, and that's fine. I'm not picking on that. What I'm picking on is boredom is not common anymore. We're quick to fill that box in or that hole in with sand and dirt. If you let your mind be bored, you'd be surprised what it would be telling you. All the greatest people had this me time where they will sit there. Thomas Edison was one. He loved boredom because those were his greatest ideas came out. I always say the brain is made for imagination and creation, not storage. The mind is beautiful. I always appreciate it. You just have to learn how to tune it and at the same time develop the muscle. Let it go wild. Come up with visuals in your head. Now, at the same time, creativity is only sparked by reading or movies. But just like J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter, her imagination went wild. And it wasn't just her. When kids read the book, their imagination sparks. So it's really one thing after another. Someone's creativity can create another person's creativity. In the end, I always say, it's better to read more books and get attuned with everyday life. You might learn something. I have a thirst for knowledge. I like to read new books, whether it's finance, personal philosophy. I'm open to everything. It just has to sound right to me. With that being said, I'm good at filtering stuff to where I can see the front cover and it's just calling to be bought. And there's nothing in that book. Superficial. But the reason I know that is because I've come across and bought those books. It comes with experience. But reading books, I just want to get back to the fact that it's an underrated hobby, especially in this newer generation where the internet is number one. Don't get me wrong. I love AI and I love computers and they make my everyday life simple, but they don't support my creativity. When I type in something, I'm doing research. But when I visualize something or think of something, I have ideas. Those ideas loom and become fluorescent. When we read books, it helps us understand everyday life, the way we learn how to attack it, problem solve, be a better person, but at the same time, relate with everyone else. Think about it. When someone writes a book, they are taking time out of their day, their life, to show you the way. And if someone can teach you 20 years of experience in one book for $20, roughly, that's a win. That's a win for you because you're learning 20 years of experience in a book. That's what I always tell people. All right. Well, that ends today's episode. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you liked today's episode, smash that like button. Leave me some comments below. What books do you read? What interests you? What's a good recommendation? Tell me your thoughts on today's topic. Do you like books? Do you like audiobooks? What do you prefer? Now, as always, go out and be positive.